what if you could perfectly train spiders? Well, I guess I'll start us off then. So, looking at doing research on spiders, while upsetting, was actually pretty interesting. Spiders are super cool and actually have a lot of cool, like, superpowers-ish things.
There's a lot of cool different spiders.
Yeah.
So what really stuck with me was the things that I did not expect spiders to be able to do. Fine, they got senses, they got webs, they got this, but there were some things I did not expect spiders to do. And what got me first was, I did not expect them to be able to fly.
Yeah, that caught me off guard too. I found that in my research.
So, and when I say fly, I don't mean like glide, like it gets swept up by wind currents, like it makes like a parachute or something. Like straight up generates lift flies. And it does this with the fucking electromagnetic forces in the atmosphere.
But Spider-Man can't fly. Why can't Spider-Man fly?
That's because he doesn't have like a physics degree to figure this shit out. Wait, does he? Doesn't he?
He's pretty smart.
Wait, actually he might.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, he has some kind of some kind of physics background.
He's super smart.
Is it chemist? I don't know.
Did they give him anything except being a nerd?
No, he definitely has some sort of degree.
Okay, we have to get off Spider-Man because otherwise that's all we're going to talk about this whole question.
Right, less man, more spider, go.
So basically what the spider does is, first off, it sticks out its legs in the air to test the voltage in the atmosphere and the wind current direction. And then it shoots out a web that somehow when it generates the web, it actually gives it a slight static charge. So it shoots this web, and the differential between like the positively charged Earth and the slightly less negatively charged atmosphere catches that web and pulls it up like magnetically and lifts the spider off the ground.
See, when you say that a spider can fly, I think it shoots its web and the wind takes it. But no, it's electric currents.
Yeah, they specifically look for low wind conditions to do this in.
It's crazy.
And they go up, like, they have found spiders, like, where'd I have it? Over a mile into the fucking air. So if you thought boarding a plane and, like, getting on that was going to keep you safe from spiders, think again. There's spiders fucking everywhere.
Do they have any, like, control over it when they're in the air?
I mean, if they're a mile up, I assume little to none.
Right.
But they do say they actually, I take it back because I just remembered I was reading that they, like, migrate a little bit doing this, and they actually have the ability to, like, land on specific islands, or, like, they've, swarms have landed on ships passing through the ocean.
Oh, that's terrifying.
That'd be terrifying.
Why did you tell me that? I can't go on ships anymore, Marcus.
Look, this is gonna get scary. This is a scary, spooky episode, so...
I don't like sailing. Why? Because you're scared of sharks? No, I'm scared of spiders.
Spiders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... You have a better chance of getting attacked by a horde of spiders than a shark. So, the question is, now that if I can train these flying spiders, can I harness their flying power? So what I want to do was I want to see could you just get enough spiders together to generate enough lift to just like replace the engine on an airplane. So a single ballooning spider. There's a bunch of different species, but the one I had was like a smaller one. It can generate about 10 to 30 nanocoulombs of charge in its thread, which is a very small number. It's got a lot of zeros. But I don't have anything to make the units make sense to myself or a layman. But based on the height a spider can achieve with that charge, based on the equation Q equals mg over E naught times E to the alpha HEQ, to lift a plane that weighs 135,000 pounds, which would be a Boeing 7047, a pretty standard plane, you would need 2.25 quadrillion spiders to generate enough lift to lift up the airplane.
That's too many spiders.
Well, they're very small, so I did want to check how many spiders I could fit on an airplane.
Are there that many of these spiders in the world?
Don't answer that question. I don't want to know.
Look, I can perfectly train them, so if I need more spiders, I can just direct them to... Yeah, I can make them breed. I can get some nasty spider, orgies going, and then I have enough spiders to open my airline that no one will ride. So a Boeing 747 is 130 feet long, about 12 feet wide, and it's got about 50-foot wings. The spider is about a 1/4 inch long. So per square foot, you can fit about 2,000 spiders. And taking over the whole airplane, you can fit about 5.8 million spiders onto the plane. Which, while not enough to lift it, is pretty terrifying in my head. So obviously the plane, huge, humongous, not no go. But what if you just want to lift yourself? If you wanted to lift yourself up, you would need 1.8 trillion spiders, which also don't fit on the plane,
Yeah, I'm
and definitely
assuming
don't fit on your shoulders.
I have less surface area than a 747, I think.
Yeah, so I was disappointed that these spiders did not generate enough lift to lift up anything actually relevant. Even like delivering mail and stuff, I was not getting the numbers I needed.
There might be some sort of shape that optimizes it. Just like a flat plane, maybe. Like a flat surface.
I think the physics are just not there. Like, the equation is logarithmic, so it increases exponentially on the one side, and you start getting real diminishing returns on spiders after, like, spider sizes. So spiders are not great in air. We know they're not good on the we know they're good on the ground. And then my next question is, could they be good in water? And I found another spider that piqued my interest. The Delamedes spider, also known as the fishing spider. It's known as this because, as you might imagine, it fishes. And your mental image of a spider throwing some web into the water is completely wrong.
Yeah.
What this spider can do, it actually is able to catch air in its hairs in order to stay buoyant and actually walk on the water. And so basically it skates out onto the water and then can straight up attack little fish and drag them to shore.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's really also upsetting.
How big are these fish?
And how big are these spiders?
Yeah, the bigger question is how big are the spiders? They'll tell you how big the fish are. They're actually not super small. With their legs, they can get up to 6 inches long.
Whoa, that's
Which is that is a size little spider. And they can drag a fish out of the water. It's like they're buoyant, but like also like super buoyant. Like not just I'm barely keeping myself afloat here. So they stay buoyant for about 45 minutes. And what I want to do with my spider training now is I want to bring them to New York City, bring them to Manhattan, and use them to clean up the river. Because if they can get little fish, I think they can take trash too. So if you can train these spiders to collect trash out of the river, I think you can really start fighting some of the pollution that we're doing there.
Look at you, a good Samaritan.
Exactly. And not only that, you're not supposed to swim in the Hudson. And I can guarantee you nobody will break that rule when the Hudson is full of spiders.
And that's when the crimes start. Oh, wait.
Secret heist.
Twist, time for spider crimes. No.
This time just good Samaritan.
This time I'm just a good Samaritan. I was thinking about spider crimes, but I decided that, like, if you are the spider criminal, like, I think that's a terrifying and bad enough mental image that, like, the entirety of all the police are after you all the time. Like, you don't get to get away with, crimes. Like, you are
Right, yeah.
Mr. Wanted #1.
And Spider-Man, the name is already taken, so, like, what would you call yourself?
Yeah, you get sued by Marvel. Spider guy.
Spider villain.
El Spider Bandito. But continuing on my cleaning up the river stick here, the spiders that are floating around are good for the smaller stuff. But what about the bigger trash floating around? And the last spider I want to talk about is the Darwin's bark spider, which, of all the spiders, is known for having both the strongest web and the biggest web. So, strength-wise, the web is 25 times stronger than steel. It is the strongest natural-made material that we know of, which, like, coming from a construction background, 25 times stronger than steel is fucking buck wild.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's like 100 times more than the fucking shit they make bulletproof vests out of, so that's another point of comparison.
So I did do a little bit of research on web strength in mine, and I found that, like, if you're looking at the same cross-sectional area, then steel is a little stronger, but by weight, webs are way stronger.
Oh, is that how they do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other thing that got me was that this spider web, like, it is the biggest, and it was bigger than I thought. It was 80 fucking feet long are their natural webs. So, like, this is a spider where it's like fucking Harry Potter. Like, they'll naturally spin their webs above rivers, like from side to side. Scientists don't even know how they get the web from one side to the other. It's just it's just there. It is stronger than steel, and it's a giant 80-foot spider web.
Yeah, they must have just like launched it out. That's the only way they could have done it, right?
But like launching like 60 feet?
Okay, so conceivably, if there's like trees across the river, they could anchor on one side and then cross like branch to branch.
Dude, I don't know. I was looking at some of these photos, and it's just like, it's just there. It just
That's still
like,
buck wild, yeah.
Yeah, it just exists as a giant spider web. So I think these are the ones, if we go back to our previous mental image of a spider throwing some web into the river and catching stuff, this is what they could do. They could be on the lookout for big pieces of trash, throw out their 80-foot web, snatch onto it, reel it in, and then the river is pollution free and also swimmer free. So I have done my good deed with spiders.